my top 4 Fujifilm cameras. Which cameras I love the most from Fujifilm and which is my number one. I will compare Fujifilm X-T5 versus Fujifilm X Pro 3 versus Fujifilm X100V versus Mini X-T5 Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II. Let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Tudor Matescu, and because it's the end of the year and we are getting close to 2024, I am thinking to make a top of my favorite Fujifilm cameras. Which cameras I love the most from these 4 cameras, which is my number one camera, and which cameras I would keep for sure in 2024. So, the contenders are Fujifilm X-T5, Fujifilm X100V, Fujifilm X Pro 3 and Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II. I have all these cameras. Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II, it's at home because I've made some pictures with it, so we will compare all these 4 cameras. So let's start with number 4. Let's start with the last place of my preferred Fujifilm cameras. Well, this is a surprise because on the last place, it's Fujifilm X-T5. Yes, the newest camera from Fujifilm is my last preferred camera from these all Fujifilm cameras. Well, this camera, it's a great camera. I've made several reviews and tutorials about this camera, and I've used it a lot in street photography and in reviewing new lenses. So this camera, it's great with new third-party lenses like TT Artisan lenses and other lenses that are coming on the market because it has great AF. This camera has the best AF from all the other cameras, but it has a 40 megapixel sensor and also it has some weight to it. And with the new lenses from Fujifilm, the 18mm f1.4, as a passionate photographer, as someone who wants to take pictures and to have an everyday carry camera, I do prefer a lighter camera. But when it's snowing outside or when it's raining outside, I would choose this camera because of the tilt screen, of the great viewfinder. So it's a great camera, but not my preferred camera to take it with me everywhere I go. The third preferred camera, it's not X100V, it's Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II. Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II, it's a mini X-T5. Yes, it doesn't have 40 megapixel sensor, it's not weather sealed, but it's so small, it's so incredible small. The AF, it's extraordinarily good, it's like a XC4 or better AF from my experience because I also had XC4, and it has great viewfinder, great image quality, great controls and lots of buttons. So in general, X-T30 Mark II, it's a mini X-T5. I have all that I could want on X-T30. Yes, I don't have IBIS and I don't have weather sealing. I am not needing those features in my photography. I'm not relying on IBIS, and especially again for weather sealing I have a solution and I've made a video about the solution. I will link it in the comments and description. So I have a solution for weather sealing my X-T30 Mark II. The image, it's great. I have all the simulations that I could want. I don't have the latest simulation, but the latest simulation, nostalgic negative, I'm not liking it too much. I'm liking it, but I can live without that film simulation. So in rest, compared to X-T5, it's a small camera that I can take with me everywhere, and it's also a good replacement for X100V. So I'm totally recommending X-T30 Mark II if you want a general all-around Fujifilm camera that will do everything great. It will stay great with bigger lenses, with small lenses and so on. So this is why I do prefer X-T30 Mark II more for street photography, for everyday shooting, for casual event photography, more than X-T5. Lighter, I can take it with bigger lenses and I will obtain same results, same image quality. Let's be serious, just if you'll pixel peep, you'll find some differences there and there, but again, no problems. My next preferred camera, number 2, it's Fujifilm X100V. Fujifilm X100V, even if it's a so desired camera because it's hard to be found, it's my number 2. Why? Because it has a fixed lens, a 35mm f2, not f1.4, not f1.8, f2 APS-C lens. So again, I want more light on an APS-C body, so this is why it's my number 2. It's weather sealed, it has a gray screen, ND filter, flash, and so on. But in real world photography, I've observed I do prefer to have a camera that can take lenses, so I can change lenses. I don't want to be stuck with one lens, and especially a 35mm lens. I'm especially liking the 40mm field of view, the 50 or the 28. The 35, I don't know, it's boring, it's a boring field. I want something that it will help me compose better, like a 40 or like a 50mm lens, or something that will give me some dynamic, like a 28mm field of view lens or a 24. And this is a fixed 35. It will do the job in the majority of time. It can be your only camera. It has great image quality, acceptable AF, and all that you could want on this camera, but can't be my only camera. So which one is my number 1? And by the way, I have a special newsletter dedicated to the passionate photographers. So if you want to learn more about photography tips, tricks, and all kinds of useful information for free, please subscribe to my newsletter, link in the comments and description. So of course, if you didn't skip to this part, yes, my number 1 camera, it's Fujifilm X Pro 3, the old and beaten up Fujifilm X Pro 3. I'm totally loving this camera. If I would have to sell all my Fujifilm cameras, this is the camera that I would keep. Yes, this is the one. It's a great experience to shoot with this camera, a great experience. And with the 35 f1.4 lens, with Fujifilm simulations, and by the way, I've discovered a great film simulation, Kodak P3200, you can find it on Fujifilm X Weekly. You'll have great images. Just use the optical viewfinder, shoot with the screen closed, and the experience, it's totally great. You'll be in the moment, you'll have surprises after surprises, you'll think well about the composition. The 35mm f1.4, it's rendering such beautiful images, such wow images, like I like images, like I like glass images, and the experience is totally great. I'm loving this closed screen. I'm totally for this closed screen, and I do hope that X Pro 4 will still have a closed screen without the ribbon problem. My screen has some problems, it's still working. The LCD is still working, but the sub monitor, it's not working, it's not showing the film simulations. So probably in the future my screen will totally broke, but the camera will still be usable and I can send it for Fujifilm for repair. But with all these problems, I'm still loving this camera so much. I'm loving it very much. With Fujifilm lenses like the 35mm f2, I have a small package. With 50mm f2, great fine art tool. With Viltrox 23mm f1.4, or with other Fujifilm old lenses, the 56 or the 23mm f1.4 from Fujifilm, indifferently of what focal length you want to use. And the screen is doing a great job like this. This is why I'm loving it so much. So I'm not shooting this camera only with the optical viewfinder. I'm also using the screen. And this screen is helping me a lot to make good compositions. It's really feeling like a Rolleiflex. So it's great. It's a totally great camera, one of the best camera from Fujifilm. So this is my number 1 preferred Fujifilm camera. Tell me what is your preferred Fujifilm camera, leave me your comments, subscribe to my channel, give it a like, and check my affiliate links if you want to buy something from Amazon for you. Subscribe to my newsletter and share my video. And also please check the next Fujifilm video. Click here right now.